Nobody wins when the family feels.
They do too much talking.
Oh, bro. Focus on your fight before you not make it to your fight.
I know what's going to happen come Saturday.
Not gonna make it. You're not gonna make it to your fight.
And there's a combination that drops Errol Spence for the first time in his career.
You got Errol Spence was ranked number 4 in the pound for pound, and you got Terrence Crawford that was ranked number 1. So.
Just and again, the counter. Just as Spence thought he.
What can you guarantee the boxing public they're going to get when you step in the ring with Terrence Bud Crawford?
You a don't get legendary stuff. You a see you a
let Errol.
You a because you keep
too
talking
emotional.
like
Too emotional,
you doing all that
man.
talking.
That's how
You doing all that
Yeah.
talking. Oh, whole ass.
You catch me, you gotta come back.
Over here looking sad. Ellie, you looking like a retard over there because you was going against me. You know what I mean? But all in all, you know, I get to say I told y'all.
Inline skates, and the referee has intervened. Mamma mia!
Write some great stories about Terrence Crawford. Don't hate on him. Don't say nothing negative. Just give me my props.
Terrence Bud Crawford. That's exactly what we're going to do today. And for those who be in the comments saying I don't make positive stories, hopefully you guys be just as intrigued and just as interested in this video as you guys would do the negative. Family, today we're going to Omaha, Nebraska. This may be the first time we stop there. You see that man with Omaha on the back of his boxer shorts? That's a man that was doubted. 40 wins in the sport of boxing, no losses. It took his 40th fight to be on Showtime. Having a hell of a story, being shot in the head after shooting dice, sitting in the car counting money. The same year he made his pro boxing debut. So in this video, we're gonna highlight the incredible story of Terrence Bud Crawford, talk about his recent fight and how he became one of the faces of the sport of boxing. We also gonna take a dive and listen to Terrence Bud Crawford on how he feel and his recent success. But first, remember, I don't give you no angle, I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And we're gonna jump right to it. Born September 28th, 1987, was Terrence Allen Crawford. Terrence Crawford was just 7 years old when he started boxing at the CW Boxing Club in Omaha, Nebraska. He had it rough growing up. He was blessed with the natural ability to not only fight, but to read and time his opponents. Once in an interview, Terrence told the reporter that his toughness and resilience was by his parents' consistent arguments and his mother Deborah being a heavy drinker and sometimes beating him. He once quoted, "I got hit with a belt, a toy, a stick, extension cord, a switch off a tree, whatever. At the same time, my pain tolerance went up. It came to the point where it built toughness. Yeah, it hurt, but I wasn't scared. I knew what was coming. Wasn't nothing I wasn't prepared for." Also quoting, "I always have the ability to believe in myself when nobody else does." Later, age 12, I just looked at her like, psst. That don't hurt. I grabbed the belt. Tell her, you ain't hitting me no more. And during this time, Crawford would get into a lot of trouble. His willingness to fight led to him being expelled from 5 schools. But he had one common rule that he started at the very beginning that helped him along the journey. He vowed to never smoke or drink. But he felt the best when he was at CW training alongside the many Crips, Bloods, Gangster Disciples, and St. Vice Lords from North Omaha. Because the youngest growing up in they separate neighborhoods will all come near to train as well. Now this person sitting next to Crawford is a guy named Bomac. He also put someone through a glass door and shot a member of the police force. Not only once spared Crawford's Uncle Michael, but also will become his professional trainer. In the same way that he was exposed to tough men at the CW, the young Crawford was also surrounded by tough women at home. In addition to his mother, there were also his older sisters, Shantae and Letitia, his grandmother Velma, and his Aunt Jackie, who ended up serving time in a state prison for possession of C. Now, Aunt Jackie struggled with schizophrenia and addiction before she ended up losing her life in 2003 due to cancer. May she rest in peace. As just 17 years old, Crawford, a lightweight, had spared the boxer to help him prepare for 375 pounds Erg Butterbean each. By then, he was also known outside of Omaha as the young fighter who threatened to kill Gary Russell Jr. while training for the Pan American Games. He was a 4-0 professional when on August 30th, 2008, Crawford amid a fight between Crips and Bloods. And despite growing up in the Crip territory in North Omaha, he never spoke up of a commitment to neither. But during that dispute, between the Crips and the Bloods, he had an altercation with a bouncer that led him being sprayed with mace by police. When Crawford left the venue, it was late night going into early morning hours. He ended up playing street dice, and while he sat counting his winnings, a bullet flew through the back of his window of his car. By that bullet first traveling through the windshield of his 1986 Ford Cutlass, it flew through Crawford's head and then around his skull instead of going through it. Despite the wound, it created the blood he was losing, and he proved capable of driving himself to Creighton University Medical Center above all else, and is still recognized he's lucky to be alive. Just 3 years later, in 2011, Crawford was recruited by Timothy Bradley. Now at the time, Timothy was the undefeated WBO and WBC super lightweight champion and was preparing for his defiant fights against Devin Alexander. As a sparring partner, he outboxed him. Bradley would go on to record and victory over Alexander to reach the International Boxer Hall of Fame, but had seen enough in Crawford to recognize that Crawford too would become world champion.
Amongst those boxing fans was a bout between you and Errol Spence Jr. When you heard the news about Spence Jr., what was your initial reaction?
My initial reaction was I was praying that he was okay and safe. Outside of boxing, you know, that guy got a family that's dependent on him, and I would never want anything bad to happen to a fellow fighter like myself.
I want to ask you about the joy of fatherhood and the responsibility, of course, that goes with that. How life-changing is it?
My name is Christian Horner. I'm team principal and CEO of Oracle Red Bull Racing. I've been with the team since the beginning. My role and responsibility is effectively at the top of the chain. So from Monday to Friday, I'm the CEO of a high-performing technology company. And for 22 race weekends of the year, I'm the team principal of a high-performing Formula One team. Well, we compete.
It's 360. You know, I changed my whole life. I slowed down. I stopped hanging around the same people that I was hanging out with that was getting into all the trouble. I completely just put all my time and effort into my kids, and once I step foot in the ring, that's who I fight for, and that's who I work extra hard for when I'm tired, you know, to feed my family and to make sure that they're gonna be all right after boxing.
When you reflect on your own childhood, the experiences, the ups and downs, just elaborate a bit more for us how all of that has shaped the person you are today.
Oh man, I've been through a lot. That upbringing just made me stronger and made me more determined to make it out of where I made it out from and just fight extra hard to not go back.
Pick out one image from us that you can share with us from your childhood, from growing up, that was a really powerful life lesson.
Probably being shot. You know, when I got shot, it changed my life tremendously, you know, and put me on the right path. And that's when everything started happening for me with boxing and my family and just everything. My life just took a big turn and start going uphill.
And you saw that moment as a pivotal changing point in your life. How does someone move on from that? How is that possible?
You got to change your life. You got to change the people that you hang out with. You got to change your surroundings. You got to change your train of thought, you know, and I put all my time and my effort into the sport of boxing, and it's paying off.
Yes, sir, it's paying off big time. Last Saturday, July 29th, 2003, Errol Spencer, Terrence Crawford would make their debut in the ring. As far as betting, Terrence Crawford was the winner. But when it came to the actual A card and the B card, Terrence Crawford was the B card, but the better fighter because this was his first time on pay-per-view.
Let's see what's gonna happen. Let's go.
Errol Spence Jr., same question. Over 1 million people are going to buy this fight. Over 20,000 are going to come to this arena. What can you guarantee the boxing public they're going to get when you step in the ring with Terrence Bud Crawford?
You don't get legendary stuff. See,
let Errol.
Because you keep talking like
you
doing all that talking.
That's how
you doing all that talking. Oh, whole ass.
You catch me, you gotta come back. Catch me, I come back.
Real don't talk, and you talking too much.
Well, like I said, this
you want some attention.
This right here, this is gonna be legendary.
Right here. Female ass.
See y'all tuning in. This is a legendary old school fight.
Get out. Some attention. Put the camera on him because that's what he's doing. Showing out like a female.
Let him finish, bud. Go ahead, EJ.
Yeah, all right.
Go.
See where that gets.
Y'all done? Y'all done?
There you go. All right, guys, you can turn out and face the cameras all the way in the back, please. All the way in the back, up top.
It was highly anticipated, but Terrence Crawford got the knockout by TKO on the 9th round. And to be honest, it seems like he controlled the whole fight. His counter punches was unbelievable. Now before we hear from Terrence Crawford, let's listen to Spence taking his first L out of his career. Hats off to him, he had a hell of a fight as well.
Here to give opening comments. Errol, he's joined by his trainer, Derek James.
Hello, how's it going? A little off night. The better man won tonight. Not here to make any excuses. He definitely did his thing. Just, my time was off and I couldn't capitalize on a couple of things. And, his time was a lot better than mine tonight.
Turn it over to the media for questions for Errol Spence Jr. Raise your hand and wait until you get the microphone.
Right back here.
Hey, Errol. Andreas here from the Sporting News. Errol, how was the weight cut for this fight? And I wanted to follow that with a second question. If the rematch had to be at 47, I know you said you want to be there again. Are you willing to do this rematch back at welterweight?
It's something I got to talk to my management about, but hopefully it's at 154.
How was this particular weight cut? Was it a very difficult one, or did you feel at ease with the weight cut?
I mean, it's always difficult, but, like I said, I don't make any excuses. The better man won tonight.
One last question. What about Terrence surprised you the most? Was it his timing, his power? What surprised you?
Nothing really surprised me. He was just like I thought. It just my timing wasn't good today.
Questions for Errol Spence Jr.
Hey, Errol, Keith Idek from BoxingScene.com. What do you attribute your timing not being there to? Did you feel off physically or anything, or what was wrong in the fight?
Yeah, felt a little off physically, but most times I get through it. So, I thought it was gonna be just like the other times, but I couldn't kick it up a notch.
We won't cut it off right there, but we do want to say, once again, hats off to Spence. He did show up, and he also took it like a man. Now, let's hear from the winner, Terrence Crawford, as he talks about being doubted. His first time on Showtime, he's 40-0. The first boxer to have 2 belts in 2 weight classes. Check it out.
I mean, you're the first male boxer. You made history, undisputed, in not 1 but 2 divisions.
Like I said before, this meant everything to me. I wanted to give honor to God for blessing me to be here, to be able to perform in front of each and every one of y'all. And that's pretty much it. I wanted to thank Errol Spence and his team for me and him coming together and getting this fight underway. This is a fight that everybody wanted to see. the whole world was talking about it, and we put on a great show.
All right, at this time, I'm going to turn it over to questions for Terrence Bud Crawford. If you have questions, raise your hand.
Terrence, Andreas here from the Sporting News. Just talked to Errol. He said he hopes to get the rematch, and he would like to have the rematch at 154 pounds. Are you interested in moving up in weight for the rematch, or does it have to be at 47?
It definitely don't have to be at 47. Like I said, you know, I'm in a hurt business. 47 was kind of hard for me too. I was already talking about moving up in weight and challenging Charlo, so 54 wouldn't be outreach of anything.
Want to follow up with, how did you pull off getting Eminem to walk you out tonight?
I don't know. It was just, I throw a rock in a haystack and he replied, and you know, I told him to pull up and he was like, I'm there. Are you one of my favorite fighters? And you know, that showed, you know, a lot of support for me, and that showed what level I'm at in the boxing world.
Last question. Naoya Inoue was considered the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world after his performance on Tuesday. Do you think you definitively put a stamp on you as the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world after this performance?
Without a doubt. Like I told everybody once before, the winner out of this fight was going to be #1 pound-for-pound, hands down. You got Errol Spence was ranked #4 in the pound-for-pound, and you got Terrence Crawford that was ranked #1. So you got two fighters that's in the top 5 pound-for-pound ratings. How can they not be #1 pound-for-pound?
Terrence, Keith Heidick from BoxingScene.com. Congratulations on a great performance. Was it even easier than you expected it to be once you were in there?
Never. Like I said, we trained so hard in training camp that it may look easy in the ring, but these fights is never easy. These fights is very extremely hard because we put our body through the most in training camp, and I worked my ass off to get to where I'm at today to perform in front of each and every one of y'all. I even did things that was different this fight. You know, we did a pre-camp, came out to Vegas, stayed for a month, you know, so I've been working for a long time for just this one moment, so it's never easy.
At which point in the fight did you realize that he wasn't going to be able to do anything with you tonight?
Well, the first round, I felt as if I had the speed and power. I felt, you know, his power, and I felt as if I was the stronger fighter. And yeah, that's pretty much was it.
Andrew Jones, ESPN, Anscape. Terrence and your team, congratulations on a special night. Roy Jones Jr. told me yesterday that if you won this fight, that you'll be up there as one of the all-time best pound-for-pound. You talked about Andre Ward, Floyd Mayweather era, now your era. Where do you rank yourself all-time, pound-for-pound, after tonight?
Well, I'm up there. You know what I mean? Like, I always want to pay homage to the fighters that came before me, you know, because without them, there'd be no me. Wherever they want to put me, you know, I'm up there, you know. It ain't my job to put me on.
And who came up with the fishnet idea to walk out, and what you told your mom when you were celebrating with her in the ring and giving her a birthday present that you wanted her to give her?
No, that's all So Cold. Like I said, So Cold, everything. He came up with the idea. He said, man, I got you, bro. He designed my last outfit. And I told him, I said, man, that was one of the coldest outfits that I had. And he said, wait till you see this one. I said, oh, all right. And, you know, his creativeness, you know, brought to life along with Everlast. And then you got what you got.
Terrence, Kevin Iole from Yahoo Sports. Congratulations on the brilliant performance. I wonder, when you were with Top Rank, there were many years there would be fights on Fox or Showtime, and they would list top welterweights. I guess it was more Fox. They would list top welterweights, and you weren't even on there a lot of the time, and a lot of fans would get upset about that. Do you feel like now when you look back, like, do you feel some sense of vindication that people who overlooked you for so long now, you're at the top of the heap and there's no doubt?
Well, I've been telling each and every one of y'all for years. A lot of y'all over here looking sad. Ellie, you looking like a retarded ass dude over there because you was going against me. You know what I mean? But all in all, you know, I get to say I told y'all because I've been asking for these fights for years. And y'all been saying, oh, he's too small. He's going to get this. He's going to get broken. And each and every time that I step up, I proved y'all wrong. Each time. So, you know what I mean? Write some great stories about Terrence Crawford. Don't hate on him. Don't say nothing negative. Just give me my props.
I hope in this video, the Family TV done just so, giving you your props. Because after that performance this last weekend, you definitely is the face, or one of them, of boxing. With that being said, family, let me know how you guys feel about this story. We're talking about a young kid growing up in Omaha, having pretty much every obstacle that you can throw at him. Being shot in the head, debuting his boxing career, and still managed to be one of the faces of boxing and two-time world champion. Talk to me in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And today,